Today on Web Nation, from 3D printers to mind-controlled Pong, DIY projects with open source hardware. Welcome to Web Nation. I'm Amber Mack. On today's episode, we're at the HackLab in Toronto to find out what makes open source hardware tick.
So if you've heard of open source software, which is software where people collaborate online to build something way more awesome than somebody individually could build, open hardware is like the physical manifestation of that. So instead of just publishing your source code online, you also publish the schematics, the pinouts, the wiring, what parts you need to go buy at like your local electronics shop.
From the moment you walk in the lab door, you're part of the open source hardware movement.
When you badge in, it checks with a server running Linux in the closet. And if you're in the database, like if you're not just a random person who happens to have the same kind of RFID badge, then it'll unlock the door for you. And in addition to unlocking the door for you, it'll display your name on the sign so that as you're coming up the stairs, people will be like, "Hey, Jed, how's it going?" And it'll also put an entry in the log on the touchscreen over there. So if I pull this up, we've got everybody's nicknames, and some people have pictures attached to them, but not everybody.
Many of these projects rely on a board called Arduino.
There we go. An Arduino, which is this little guy here. It's an open source microcontroller, which is basically a tiny computer that lets you interface digital inputs and analog inputs with digital outputs and analog outputs. And it also lets you interface your computer with other things in the world. Oh well, can't find it. I'll just plug it in. I think the availability of cheap open source hardware has been a huge boon in like DIY. People are sort of starting to realize just how accessible it is, that like in a couple of days I can figure out how to make an LED blink based on what the light levels are.
Lee also has a couple of pet projects on the go.
This is a Star Wars branded EEG. That basically detects two different types of brainwaves. So I've taken it apart already and found that there's a standard JTAG header, which is like a standard serial interface. So I'm really looking forward to plugging it into my computer and be able to play Pong with my mind.
Tucked away in the lab's tiny bathroom is another experiment, a $20,000 laser cutter that the members purchased for $500. After repairing it, they also wrote software so it can do more than just make designs. It can also play this famous game theme song.
Why should people hack their hardware? Because it's yours, and if you don't understand how it works, you don't really own it.
If you've made any open source hardware projects, we'd love to check out your photos. Post them online at webnation.tv or find us on Twitter. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
So we turn it on. I bring it down so that the nozzle is touching the base plate. So I'm going to hit the build button. There we go. You're basically making a 3D object into many layers of 2D and then printing each of those layers out, and then it becomes 3D again. So you can see, like, these are the paths that our fancy glue gun is going to take. And we're done. It's pretty high tech. And then you clip it on your glasses. It's kind of super dorky, but awesome.